evening, ladies. I just want to finish what I planned, and then Bezat Hashem tomorrow we'll move on, and you will see me in a new video with new clothes. Um, okay, who can do what we just described? Who is the person who can really make it clear in his mind what is right and what is wrong? Who is the person who can really go through his actions and clean them and purify them? The person who can do that is the person she'itzro masul beyado. What does it mean? It means that his evil inclination is in his hand, which means it is under his control. If you are still bound down or controlled by your evil inclination, you won't be able to do that, because we said that is the main thing that the evil inclination or this angel of death is fighting against us, because this world is very confusing. It's like a maze in a way, but it's only confusing because we don't see clearly. If it would have been clear for us what is true and what is not, then it would have been so easy. If it would have been clear in our minds what we want to do and what we don't, it would have been so much easier to fight. It would have been so much easier to control our actions. But it's just because we live in a blurry world and we don't take the time to stop and think what we think is true, what we think is right. That is why we do things that we sometimes afterwards regret. And in order for us to be able to bring ourselves to the point that we sit down and we do this calculation, that we take the time and we look at what we do in life, then if you bring yourself to do that, that means that you're in control. It means that you have the power in your hand, and it means that you don't bow down to your evil inclination, but you hold it in your hand, and it's in your hand. And where do we see it? That there is a pasuk. It says Tashet choshech v'hi laila bo tirmos kol chayat toya, which means that this evil inclination, this angel of death, this angel that Hashem gave him the responsibility. Now you need to challenge the humankind. You need to give them temptations. You need to see where they can fall, because through these things that bring us down, we grow. And through these challenges that we overcome, we build ourselves. And that is the whole point, but we need to bring ourselves to winning those challenges in order to bring ourselves higher and to elevate ourselves and the people around us and to build ourselves. But what is his technique? Tashet choshech v'hi laila. It means this angel, what he does, he brings darkness and night to this world. And when it's dark and when it's night, that's when all the animals go out. That's what it says, the pasuk. So this world is dark, and sometimes it feels like it's just night. And when it's dark, that's when all the bad things go out. That's when we do things that we sometimes regret. But when we bring light to our world, when we turn on the light, when we turn on the switch, or when we bring the sun to burn, to light the world that is our lives and the lives of the people around us, that is when we see clearly. And that is when we can make the right choices. And there are many psukim like that symbolizes, and in the path of the just, it brings all those psukim. I'm not going to do that, but it says there are many psukim that they bring this example that this world is like darkness, it's like night, and that it's confusing. It's not so clear where we're going. And I think, and also he explains that this example of this world being dark, it's a very good example, because he says when people go in the dark, what does the darkness do? So there are two things that it does. The first thing is it doesn't let you see where you can fall. If someone walks in the woods in the middle of the night and there is a hole right in front of him, you won't see it because it's dark. So he just falls straight in. And so the first thing that the darkness does, it doesn't let us see where are the tricky places, where are the places where we can fall. It hides it, and then we find ourselves tripping and falling into places where we never would have thought that we would get to. The next thing that can happen is that it makes you confused, which means you can see a tree and you can think that it's a person. Or the other way, you can see a person and think that it's a tree because it's dark and you don't see clearly, so it's confusing. So they say also, he says in the path of the just, he explains that this is also what happens in this world. We see something that is bad and we think that it's good. We can see something that is good and think that it's bad. And this is all part of this darkness, this confusion that we have in this world of us. And it's what we need to fight. And when we overcome it, that is when we can win. The way to overcome the darkness, the confusion, is to bring clarity to our lives, to make it clear in our minds what is the truth, to make it clear in our minds what are the bad things that we want to move away from, what are the good things we want to bring ourselves closer to see where we are placed in life and move away from the things that harm us. And after you free yourself from this darkness, from this evil inclination, that's when you can bring light to your life and guide yourself to a better place. Thank you and have a good evening. Bye.